welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the 1965 Triumph TR6 trophy build. Following on from the first part that we did, where it was basically starting to sift through the boxes, find the parts, lay them out. Got quite a lot done, actually finding where bits and pieces were going. Now I'm going to go back through the remaining boxes, because obviously I had a box of miscellaneous, so I need to lay all that out. I've already started putting a few bits up. I split the cases. Actually managed to find the actual studs for the barrel. There was 8 of those, 4 on each side. The plate I pulled out with the clutch that I was wondering where it went to, that actually fits in the primary, so that's just loosely screwed in. I've moved the pistons and the crank to the back at the moment, pushed everything to one side. Also found out the oil pump actually fits on the other side, which is the timing. Don't quote me on that just yet. So I need to start to find the rest of the bits for the primary, the chain, the cogs, etc. So that's all the parts that we found in the previous episode. I've just moved it all to one side. I actually did manage to find the missing end. That was buried in a box. I've already started with a few bits and pieces, but it is just trying to work out where exactly it comes from. So that's the box I'm going to bring up in a second. We're going to start working through that and just lay everything out on the bench so I know exactly what we've got. So I've still got a few boxes on the floor, but they are all marked up. I just want to double check and go back through the tub, which has got gaskets, etc. So this literally just got a bit of electrical and the ignition coils, and so far that is all empty boxes. So let's get this box up, and then we can start laying that out as well, because obviously hopefully the next episode I want to start getting into actually fitting bearings into the cases. We've got a bearing that fits in here. Let's bring up the other case, and we've also got a bearing that fits in there. This one is already installed. The actual sleeves for the cams are luckily already in place, so I don't have to worry about those. So we're mainly looking at 1, 2 big bearings, but obviously I have found a couple of 6204 bearings, so I need to try and work out where they're actually coming from. So we've got that bearing in there, that will be the main big one that's going in. These are already installed, so it's not from that side. And there's just the main bearing to go in there, so everything's in that side. So let's plonk this down on the floor. I know the big bearings are in them gold coloured bags. Mirrors I'll put to one side. I just need engine parts. Right, so let me just unload a few bits from this box. Right, that seems to be it from this box. As I say, there's footrests, mirrors, engine brackets, and a brake lever. Oh, and the clutch push rod. So I'll leave that wrapped next to the clutch. Right, so let's see what we've got. Right, so that's the chain. That can go back in the box. Primary chain. So I'll lay that next to the clutch. I think they're in our engine bolts because they're tapered, but we'll match those up in a second. I am literally checking every bag, every box, just to make sure that everything is out. So we've got a couple of dome nuts. And some screws. And the front sprocket. It's surprising how you start laying stuff out and it actually starts to make sense the more you go through it. Until you get bags like this. Right, these two I actually know already. It's one of the crank bearings. And that's the other one. I need to check on this just in case, because obviously when I took this out it fell out, so I need to make sure which way round it goes. But for now, so what we've got to get into the crank is this race. Just need to double check which one goes which side. Get more bolts and screws. Tube and a bolt, and literally a box of bolts, all numbered, so I'm hoping that matches up with one of the fiche pictures. 26, 27 and 28, 25, and 2 miscellaneous screws. So that's another load laid out to investigate, to find out where it actually goes to. Yeah, I think them bolts there are these ones. Yeah, so it looks like that's in the primary. And that could be the other one, just there. So also some of the boxes that are already marked up, so we've got the timing gears all together. All nicely laid out in situ. The actual points plate. The thing I haven't found so far is any points itself. And again, this may have been changed to electronic, I'm not sure. Right, so let's see what else we've got. So the previous box I just had a quick look through was just actual tools. So this one in theory should be cables, gaskets. Yep, gaskets. Cables and gaskets. And a little crimp tool, ferrules, petrol pipe. Because if you remember, petrol pipe that was on it, it's actually quite discoloured, so we'll put fresh ones on there. But it's obviously crimped and ferruled in place, so that could be quite fun to actually try. Pipings and oil filter. A few more bolts. Unsure what they're from, but we'll have a look. And a bag of what looks like stuff that's actually come off, old leaves, spare lever, old gaiters, jets for the carb. That basically seems to be about it. So as far as I can work out, I am missing something from the crank. There should be a nut that goes in. Yeah, there should be one that goes in there. That's the actual sludge. So I need to find that. That needs to go on before we can actually put the crank back together. Right, so I can leave that one now to one side, as I know it's primarily gaskets.